Life is meant to be lived.
And on this show, I'm gonna tell you crazy stories of my life. I'm your boy Mush King. You already know, I got a story to tell.
Hey, what it is, boys and girls, it's your boy Mush King, and you're back for an all-new episode of A Story to Tell right here on the CWF Network. We bring you big content in small pieces. I am the number one storyteller, your boy Mush King, and I want to welcome you here to Podmas Day 6, I believe it is. Can't really keep count, but I think it's 6. But before I get this episode started, I first want to apologize about yesterday. If you heard yesterday's episode, then you know what it is. If you did it, it was very short and very sad. But we're better today. Still a little sad, but we're pushing through. And first of all, before I get this thing started, I want to say big ups to me for continuing to keep doing this. While all this is going on, while this Podmas is going on, life is just lifing, and I'm doing a great job by just continuing to just show up and show out. So giving myself a little tap on the back, and a tap to anybody else who's out there, killing it in their creative abilities, although life may be doing some things that is not so nice to you. So shout outs to you. But on today's episode, I told y'all that I was gonna be catching up on some television. So I haven't really caught up on a lot, but I did go back and watch White Lotus. Now, if you heard my Podmas episode, I think it might be 4 or 3, I said that I was gonna come and review TV and catch up on White Lotus because I didn't enjoy the first episode of the season 2. So I caught up. I went back and rewatched the episode. Now, y'all, when you like a show, and like these days when it comes to watching TV, like the show has to be extremely good for me to not be picking up my phone, or me to be on my laptop doing other shit, editing, something like that while I'm watching the show. Like that's normal for the most part. But the first time I had watched White Lotus, I was like, because the first season was so good. It was so the characters sell it for me. In a show, the characters have to sell it. If I don't like none of the characters in the beginning, because a lot of these shows these days, they just be picking people, and the people don't really be selling it like that. So I was able to watch episode 1 of season 2 again, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Yo, it definitely just got crazy. If you haven't been watching, so White Lotus is a show about, well, last season it was a whole different cast, and they were at a beach resort in some island, and it was a whole different cast. One of the girls from Insecure was in it, so it was a good episode. Going to season 2, it's a whole different cast, but there is one couple that still exists from the last season. So I mean, that's the only familiar people, but it takes you a minute to get used to a whole new cast, especially when the last cast did so good. Speaking of which, what is happening with Black Mirror? Black Mirror was one of Netflix's first bomb series. I remember that first season. I was like, oh, all of these shits, all 6 episodes were good. I think there might have been one that was but and then season 2 came out and that was good. But it's just that's one of the top tier shows that y'all should have been pushing out. You know what I mean? But it's basically just a show about some couples, some people that be on vacation and everything that transpires. I know a lot of the first season dealt with white privilege and things like that. So really good show. So the second season, it's like I said, a whole new cast. And, one of the groups is a dad, a grandfather, and the son. And then there's these 2 escorts from Italy. They're in it. And then it's a group that's a couple. The guys were roommates in college, and then their wives, I guess. It's just madness all around. I like a nice little messy situation, and also I like a lot of relatable TV. If I can relate to it, if I can look back and be like, ooh, I remember when I was in that situation. That's when I know it's good TV. So have you guys been watching White Lotus? Let me know if you've been watching White Lotus and what else I should watch. Something that's newer. I'm not going back to watch old shit. You're not getting me to watch Sopranos or none of that. I'm not going back to something that has 17 seasons already. But if it has 1, maybe 2 seasons, I could catch up. Let me know in the comments what you guys are watching, because I need some new things to watch. Like, what else did I watch today? I just been catching up on my YouTube shit. You know, everybody's doing like Vlogmas and whatnot, so I'm just watching everybody's cool little Christmas time vibes. I will be back there soon. Probably won't be during Christmas, but you know, January always brings back life for me for some reason. So we're just waiting it out and trying to get to the next day. Like, that's literally what it is. There's just so much going on in the world. And I just want to say, like, listen, if y'all are just out here, like, going through shit, just know, like, you've been through shit before and it's gonna pass. But, like, I always say that phrase is something that's, like, more hindsight worthy, because, like, it gets better is a hindsight saying. Like, whoever created that definitely was out of the rough spot, and, you know, telling other people who were in rough spots that, you know, it gets better. Like, but it's easier to say that when it's just a phrase coming out your mouth and it's not you with your back against the wall. You know what I mean? So, you know, I also was watching, real quick before I get out of here, the tarot card lady. I know y'all heard me say this before, but she just came out with another reading for Aquarius. So definitely was on point to where, like, I'm thinking life is going, to where things should be going, and the things that might be happening within the next future. So, you know, I don't put all my 100% eggs in that basket, but, you know, it is a little bit of help and a little bit of guidance to know that eventually change is in the atmosphere, and it is happening, because I feel like something great is coming along, and whatever I'm going through right now is preparing me. But sheesh, hindsight, and that's all I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to the day when I can sit back and be like, bruh, let me tell y'all the story about what I was going through in December 2022. You know what I mean? You know, the pitfalls of life. And, you know, I was just talking about this with a friend. They don't tell you about this. Like, where was the class on this? Where was the class on credit? Where was the class on how to buy a house? Where was the class on, you know, just adulting? Like, I feel like that could have been a class that would have been beneficial, but I also feel like, you know, classes are taught by people and everybody can't teach. And, you know, that's just a phrase that I stick with it. So, yeah, I'll listen to you. Yeah, I'll listen to your thoughts and exactly, you know, what you're saying. I'll take a portion and a piece of the things that you're saying. But, like, yeah, I'm never going to 100% put, like, trust in someone else's idea. And I don't fully see that same idea. Like, let me know if you're like that as well. Some people call it stubborn or, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, the longer you live on this earth, the longer you know what you should not be doing. Like, and that's the thing with me. And that's what I feel like saved me a lot of times. It's just like, I shouldn't be doing this, so let me stop. And, you know, I've been getting to the point where just like, you know, certain people that you hang out with and certain ideas that you take with you, like, it's just like, sometimes, especially when you're going through your times, like, you just got to separate and, you know, kind of get into your self bag. And that's what I've been doing probably since, like, October. Like, since the beginning of October, I feel like life has just really been throwing itself at me, like, you know, with friendships and relationships and life, period, job, all that. I just feel like it's just been throwing me for a loophole, and I'm ready to get out of this little rut that I'm in. Like, I'm ready to, like, take the network to the next level. But there's just been certain things that's just been stopping me. Like, you know, I've been building a successful network for the past 8 years. But then, you know, when I sit around and I'm just like, you know, bro, like, why isn't this thriving? Like, why didn't the people who were here see the vision to, like, be like, nah, I'm gonna stick with this because I know this is gonna blow up? Like, am I not explaining it right? Am I not, you know, being a good leader? And is the content not good? I just always think that in my head. Like, if the original 5-6 people who I started with, like, if we all just stuck it out, like, bro, just imagine the places we would have been. The, you know, the things we would have been able to do, like the opportunities that would have come if people just, you know, buckled down and, you know, did what they had to do. But, you know, I've learned over time, everything is not everybody's vision, and that's okay. And, you know, eventually the people that will need to be in my corner in order for me to push this thing forward will eventually come. But one thing that gets me through the day to day is to know that, like, at the end of the day, whoever came to this network, I just provided an opportunity. I provided coaching from the skills I've learned over time. Now, if it's something that you didn't receive, or you came through here and didn't take nothing away from anything that I did, like, because at the end of the day, like, even if you were trying to do media, coming through this network was a great start, because it's just like, I'm teaching script writing, I'm teaching how to be a great host, how to engage your audience, how to pre-plan episodes, how to, create clips and content. And, that's all the things that you need to basically just start. Like, at the end of the day, like, when I started, me and Canva.com, if y'all know Canva, like, I'm a beast at Canva today. But I wasn't always a beast. Like, if I go back and look at some of the promo that I was creating back in 2017, like, on my $115 laptop, like, that shit was not effective. But it was effective for that time, and it was effective, and, it was savage mode for what I was doing at that time. Like, I just didn't have all the skills. But it's just, like, things that randomly come across my head, and, like, just be like, bro, like, are you doing the right thing? Are we making moves? Are we making strides? Or are we just, like, walking backwards? But I will say this year is, numbers wise, this is probably the most listens that we had ever in a year. I was looking at the stats, and 2022 is the best year thus far, like, that we've had, like, the most listens ever. So maybe I am doing something right, but who knows? There's nobody out here to really, like, say, is it right? Is it wrong? Like, so I just try to keep pushing. And I really appreciate y'all coming through and, engaging with me in this little Podmas journey that I'm on. Like, we still got 20-something more days, so no, maybe not 20-something. 12 maybe? 12 more days, I believe. So, we'll see. We'll see how we get through. We'll see if anything else happens. I'm going to try to plan out some good episodes for, like, the next couple joints. But for right now, I just came to just come talk off the top. Because, it's a podcast every day. And, yeah. I mean, I'm not doing video right now, so I can't build, like, little gingerbread houses. But, it is what it is. You guys can come and enjoy this good old voice while you're sitting at your desk, in your car, cleaning, whatever you're doing. Or if you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, I appreciate you listening. If you're listening on the app, the podcast services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that, boom, boom, boom. Like, thank you. Leave us a 5-star rating or a rating wherever you can. But please slide on over to the YouTube and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Like, it's a slow growth over there, but we're trying to get there. And I'm using the content that, some of the great people who have come across this network, I'm sharing those, because just because the content stops doesn't mean the conversation has to. Like, and it's just like, when I think back and listen back to old episodes of old shows that came through the network, I'm just like, man, like, yo, you really have potential. Like, some of them episodes I've been listening back, like, that was good. Even my own, like, sometimes when I listen back to certain storytell, I'll be like, ooh, that was terrible. But then I'll listen back to some of them and be like, oh, I fucked that up. Like, I did a good job. So that's just what's to come in 2023. I just have big goals. And, they've been goals that's been big like that for years now. But I feel like recently I've just been in a place where I'm like, okay, like, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm seeing them a little bit more clearly. And, the tarot card reader said that I really need to start, like, focusing on what exactly those goals look like. Like, because sometimes that's the part that I don't know. So, and how you going to get to somewhere where you don't know if you don't know where you're going? You know what I mean? But let me know what you guys thought about this episode today, because, yeah, let me know if you're feeling it. Let me know if you're bored as hell. Whatever it is, like, I appreciate it, because at the end of the day, you still listen. Boom, boom. Haha, got you. But no, I really appreciate you listening to me on this Podmas journey of a podcast every day of a story to tell, right here with your boy Mush King. I mean, what else are we gonna do? While we're planning and doing all that? We might as well just have us a good time. So if you haven't heard the episodes that came on before this, go ahead and check those out. Once we get back to the normal schedule, it will be the normal, like, catch up, Purple Little Bag and What You Watching. Like, the normal show will be back. But until then, like, we're just gonna rock out and rock out with some impromptu episodes. So if you like that kind of thing, if you enjoyed my little, go listen to the Reddit read along. So, and I think the title is So You Want an Open Relationship. Go ahead and listen to that and comment your thoughts, man. I want to hear what y'all have to say. That letter, those 2 letters were wild. And those are real relatable situations that I think that we can have good conversation on. But come join me on the YouTube. It's cool over there. The water's warm. But always remember, folks, be sure to tell your story because you never know who's listening. Because guess what? Everybody got a story to tell. And I'm going to let you know about White Lotus because that shit is getting good. If you haven't caught up, go ahead and catch up. And then come back in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm out.
This is the CWF network where we bring you big content in small pieces. Follow us on Instagram at CWFP_. Okay, bye.